One day I called a friend, it was the solstice in 1986, and suggested that we go down to the beach and burn a wooden man.
The thing I liked is that the raising the figure. People together would pull on a rope and make this thing stand up. That was the important thing, and that's what initially brought people into the idea of Burning Man, was working together to perform a task. We had no money, very few resources. All we had were like, a bad attitude and a lot of time on our hands.
We did dangerous things like shooting and driving at 100 miles an hour across the playa. So we did a lot of crazy things, but over time, more and more people attended the event. And in 1996, there was an incident where somebody hit a tent with a car, and there were multiple accidents that happened that year. So we realized at that time that the event had grown too big to have unrestricted driving.
I mean, sure, they had to stop the cars from driving fast, they have to get rid of the weapons. I'm not a big gun guy myself. And a lot of other things that were necessary to have a city of 40,000 people. But what they didn't have to do was they didn't have to micromanage every angle of the organization.
You know, the problems we face more typically as organizers have nothing to do with these community squabbles. We have to negotiate everything with the federal government. And that's taken us into the halls of power. We've learned about politics in the real world. You know, we have to face the ever-present potential for lawsuits. We have to manage $8 million.
We got 8 days in the harshest, most unlivable climate in the northern hemisphere, so that one guy could like burn a little thing so he can control this minuscule little budget. That's our legacy.
You know what you're getting. Your $300 and your other, your $2,000 on top of that are buying you a known commodity.
We've not been commodified. We have not been turned into a product. We have not been absorbed into the system. But that, in fact, we are absorbing it. Ah, what a radical claim. We are absorbing it. Now, you can say that's the rantings of some kind of visionary lunatic. I'm a very practical person. We run a city. We run a real city. I'm not a hippie. I'm not talking about everyone loving everyone. I'm talking about everything it takes to live well together.
And so when you're interested in people and community and you go to Burning Man, you'll find that the most action is happening when people are collaborating on large-scale artworks.
The whole community aspect of Burning Man came out of the experience of making art together, and art broadly defined as this creative activity of reimagining a society, doing its architecture, its urban planning. The entire process of reimagining that civic setting was the creative work that required cooperation.
Over time, the festival itself has become much more predictable to me. It's very enjoyable, it's very wonderful, it's very interesting, there's tons of wonderful people to talk to and get to know, but the fact of the festival has gotten very predictable to me. So have the sort of drug taking and dancing to the music and so on. So I've more and more become involved in making the artwork happen. And that's my choice. I would prefer that, you know. It's like you can only go to the same party so many times, you know. And so for me, doing the large-scale artwork has become the drugs and the food and the adventure.
What people can't see, of course, is the movement beyond the event. Soon they'll see it in newspapers and on television, and when they see it on television, they'll believe it's real.